Rod, we got our wish, got a third map. How you feeling about this one?
I mean, as you just pointed out, I'd said before, I'm quite excited to see Crucial play on this map. I'm quite excited to see both these teams play on this map because, realistically, throughout the night, we've seen both teams have huge fragging potential. I mean, it might not have happened at the same time. We might have caught them sort of going off at different points in different maps, and, you know, potentially that led to some one-sided looking games, or at least some one-sided looking parts of games. But I think overall, Dust 2 should be a wonderful map for these two teams. It takes out that tactical element, and it's really just going to show us who's more on point today with the shots. Which, normally, I wouldn't be so much of a fan of. Today, I feel that it's going to be the perfect way to end it all off.
Yeah, I would definitely say so, because at times, and said, both these teams have shown at points that they've been in the ascendancy, and they've swung back in the other team's favour, and the times when it swung has really gone on, decided both of these maps and how they panned out, including a very close one that FM managed to pull back in the first. In the second, Reason made it look a little more comfortable, but there was a bit of a resurgence from FM at a point that made us think that they could have brought that thing home and again finished it off 2-0. And we've got FM, they're playing on CT side. Let's see what they can do. They've already got one frag and make that two stand on point, taking down Connor. And we're talking about that early aim. If you're going to be using those USP, you've only got 36 bullets in them, the silence ones. You've got to be crisp with them, but if you find the face, you are going to rip that thing clean off. And we're seeing a couple of those already before a trade comes back, as Keita gets one. Faith now trying to take down Neil Zenio, and does. So we're back to a 3v3. 1 minute 15 left to go on the clock. Bomb has been dropped, so they've got that thing locked down outside of B tunnels, and they've got a nice little position here to spread out, making sure they're covering all of these possible angles, and also in a position where they can look and try and help each other out for the most part. The most isolated is Fry, who might well end up in a trade here, but we shall see.
Well, I mean, realistically, Stanley is in a good place to help Fry out as they come through, but the flashbang going to catch him completely off guard, and Babe manages to spot him out. Still can't get the frag, and on 3 HP, Fry finds the second. That sets them up for a pistol round when it is going to be all three players that are in that situation leaving alive, leaving with the round, and FM starting off beautifully through that early aggression in B tunnels. It's things like that that are going to be winning them this game and this series and sending them to the upper bracket potentially. So it's great to see it right from the offset. Reason, on the other hand, they're going to be coming straight back at it. They've bought themselves the armor, they've bought themselves the pistols, and they're going to have a scout as well on Bafe, and early damage is being done on both sides, but Reason coming out with a huge lead right off the bat. Going to be 5 versus 3 situation. The A site looking pretty damn empty at the moment, and Reason looking like they're in a great position to try and push for it. If they just took the bomb there, this could be an extremely good round, and if we see it go 1-1 right from the start, then this game is potentially going to be better than I even thought it could be.
Yeah, well, they won't know, will they, at this point? They're going to be thinking, all right, well, these guys got weapons, so they're going to be watching this from range. You see they're being very cautious and, you know, just slowly closing the distance, trying and bring them back in their favour. Crucial try to do some damage. He's flashing back to the Dozer source, long range, deagle headshot like that, really on point. Huds G does the same thing, taking down Crucial, but with a FAMAS in hand, so he's got the weapon advantage. Stan's going to clean up Baith, so they've got to worry about this now. They've got the pincer movement coming in. 2 versus 3 it is, and they've got control of this A site. It's going to be tough for Huds G. From that kind of angle, you need someone to kind of stick their head out, and that's exactly what happens with a perfectly timed flash. So maybe the retake is still on. Weber from the short. He's seen both these players coming up, and that was crisp. With the Tech 9, what are these shots? Oh, wow, okay, Huds G then. So he's not got the time to pick up this defuse, so he's got to get out of dodge and escape with his life, and it looks like he probably will. 3 frags at him, but couldn't bring the round home. But what are these shots these guys are coming out with already?
I mean, who even knows? The Tech 9, the weapon you're probably least expecting to see something like that from. And it was just perfect. And that does mean that we see it go 1-1 right from the start. FM now going to be the team that has to force up if that is what they choose to do. And actually, it looks like they're going to be saving. There's a good chance we're going to be seeing a little bit of a lull here while they get themselves back into the mix of things. But it means they're going to be coming back stronger and harder as long as they can find a couple of frags in these rounds. And Huds G started off perfectly. He manages to find one before he gets demolished. And it's going to be a 4 versus 4 from early on. This is still definitely in Reason's favor. But as long as little bits of damage can still be done here and there, if some can bait them out and they don't expect Fry to be where he is, there's potentially a little bit more economic damage. And I mean, in some instances that wouldn't matter. Here, when you see 4 4 rifles brought up, it is indeed, and I thought Keita had that.
Oh!
I was getting ready to talk about the end of the round, but Fry, yeah. Ooh, indeed. Finds himself 2. One with a beautiful headshot. One with the element of surprise. And manages to cause a decent amount of damage despite Reason finding their second round. And right from the offset of this game, we are seeing the beautiful CS we wanted to on Dust.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm like a kid in the sweet shop with some of these frags. It's like, ooh, 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 what do I get first? What do I get first? It's crazy, but it's exciting. And, you know, Dust 2, it's one of those maps where it can get quite tedious along with Inferno sometimes. The old, right, let's just hold mid until about 45 seconds. No one's going to push on CT side because they're not stupid like that, and they know that if they go and lose a player, it's going to put them in a disadvantage, so they're just going to sit in, and then we'll try and work somewhere. That tends to become the pattern, but when you're seeing frags like this, and you know, it's next level, and HudsG, he's got 2 jumping with the scout, and they're just sitting on long, allowing him to do this, picking up these headshots, and you know, that softened things up. Maybe it's a chance for Effin and bring it back to 3-2, but Faith, he's got the advantage over HudsG when he gets up close. They maybe should have done that earlier before they'd lost 2 of their lives, but it doesn't matter. Now it's a chance for FM to get his retake. They're trying for the boost, and Faith finds him, and that's his 3rd. Wow. Oh, nice.
3 in a row, but Fry comes right back into it with a deagle, finds himself 1, now looking to see what he can do versus Weber, but the flash is perfect. He's forced off the angle, and he can't stay there any longer. Now, though, re-peeking, seeing what he can do, and Weber's just waiting for him, but suddenly he spots Connor out the corner of his eye, and as he does, the bullet enters. Nothing for him to do about that whatsoever, as FM give up another round. Reason taking themselves to 3, but FM looking so strong in this round. They've got the best buy they could possibly have. Right off of a 3-round loss, they have, right off of a 3-round loss, they've found themselves the double up setup. They've got the utility. They've even managed to scrounge together a kit, and this could be wonderful. And we are going to be seeing Stanley starting it off in just that fashion. Takes Connor out with a nice spray headshot. Blocks off long entirely, and really gives FM a chance into a round that they probably need.
They're completely blind there as well. He just works through that smoke that's there, and it gives him the angle. And you know, instead, he comes out of the flash earlier than the Reason player Connor as he tries to come through, and really good stuff. But I mean, this is crazy, some of the shots that we've been seeing at this early stage, and I think you called this one perfectly, wanting to see these 2 square off on Dusty, because it just has been ridiculous so far. And you know, even after 10 years of watching Counter-Strike and playing Counter-Strike, there are still times when you know it can really get you on the edge of your seat, and you still see things that amaze you as Baith. Now he takes down Som, and there's a bit of a trade going on. 4 versus 3 though in favour of FM. They want to try and dig in here if they can. Fry's in a spot where he could be quite exposed if they try and step in from the window or from the door, but from tunnel at least he's in a good position to maybe pick up a frag. They won't be able to see him until the last possible moment when they're out into that gaping entrance. And Baith now, he's coming in from the window, so now this is the chance if he can take down Fry, and he does exactly that. He does get dinked, I believe. He's down to 14. Weber, he's able to get HudsG in the meantime. So, you know, they just work that misdirection. It drags the attention from the places where Reason don't want it to be when they're making their entrance, and they do get a plant out of it. So that's going to help their finances. That ult from Neilzinho is going to be little to no use at this point, because you expect they're not going to cross. There's not going to be anyone trying to get into positions. They are going to sit where they are. 1 in tunnels where they can work on the rotate. Both gets 1. And now Neilzinho with the AWP. Got to think about saving this one maybe. He goes in for the door, and yeah, he's got to get out of there now. You haven't got time.
Yeah, he should definitely be considering running away, but he goes for the repeat for some reason. Tries to go and hit a no-scope wallbang, and it just doesn't materialize. Babe shuts him down, and quite rightly so in my opinion. That was an interesting choice to say the least, and it does leave FM once again penniless and without weapons. Pistols once more are going to be their only source of refuge, along with a couple of nades, and it's going to be a complete ace stack. 4 players rushing down long now, trying to push it as quick as they can, and I'm just waiting to see what sort of damage Keita can do here with a Mac 10. If they continue to push further, they're going to be finding themselves in serious trouble, and you can see 3 of them have already fallen off. They don't want anything to do with it, and Som going to be using the Deagle instead to find himself 1 onto Weber. So damage definitely can be done in this situation. The only problem they're going to be finding for themselves is that the B site has already gone, so they're going to have to be doing damage and taking ground. And with the pistols, that just gets more and more difficult by the moment. You can see that already. The defenses on B are well established at this point, and there shouldn't be much of a chance for them to get anything done, especially as Keita finds Hud's G, but Stanley, a little bit too quick with the 5-7, manages to bring one back. This is going to be a tense round, despite the fact that FM started so low, as it's now a 3 versus 1, and Stanley still has the potential to do some damage.
And it is going to be reason picking this one up. Now, I know it was kind of frenetic for the first 3 or 4 rounds in particular, and some really crisp stuff coming out, but this is being played at a fast pace, and I think that fast pace has been shown by the scoreboard. It probably favours Reason Gaming a little more than it does FM, who would prefer for things to be just a little slower, for them to get themselves set in on their sites, to be able to use their angles, their Molotovs, and their utility and rotate and the like. And with things going as quickly as they are, they're not going to be able to get their feet set as such. They're not at the area where they're at their most comfortable, and it just feels like Reason are upsetting their rhythm and not letting them get settled in any way, shape or form. And we see again, this is another round that's happened so quickly. Within the first 15-20 seconds, we get the opening pick come in, and then they're straight into that B site. And now we've got 4 players on a full buy saving their weapons. They don't even want to attempt that retake, and I don't blame them.
Yeah. A little bit crazy that Reason can do that quickly, and what's even crazier is the fact that as they do have a little bit of economy, they can probably actually justify going to see what they can do against these 4 players, because letting them escape with a double up setup in their hands is not something that any of them want to do. So instead, they're going to be pushing themselves through and seeing what they can find in response. But Neilzinho are going to be taking down Connor, and the Molotov not quite doing it up against Stanley, so it is going to be a full save from FM. All 4 players getting out alive, all 4 players taking their guns with them. And so another buy round. Another scary one, another one they could win. But you're quite right, Mark. Reason are doing exactly what you should be doing on the T side of a map like Dust 2. They're setting the pace. If FM aren't comfortable with that, well, then that's their problem. I'm interested to see how it's going to be playing out in the second half when FM have that, well, when FM might have that opportunity themselves. It really depends what Reason do. But right now, they are just keeping them on their toes and not giving them a huge amount to work with. You can see it in this round already. Shots come through. Fry's not quite ready to respond to them, and just like that, the player's disappeared. He has nothing to do, and they've got a little tiny bit of information that they can work off of to try and position themselves slightly better. They're already up short. They have full mid control. Nobody's even bothering to contest that right now, and they don't need to go long because everywhere else on the map is wide open.
It really is now going through into the mid to B. Going to try and work from there. And Fry, so he's peeking out towards that. They've got a couple of players that are worried about this mid to B. Actually, some. So he drops away after picking up the frag. Second player they've got to worry about though, Neilzinho. So he spamming through. I think he's just got the tracer fire sort of whizzing around by his head through those boxes. And he does get the tag through it as well as Weber goes down. And you see now we're getting a little more to that standard, I say in inverted commas, T setup in the mid. Take mid control, wait until about 30 seconds and then commit to somewhere. Hope that you get a pick somewhere in the mix and it softens up and you get people rotating out and the like. And you now see them 30 seconds left to go, stacking outside along. This is going to be a bit of a surprise for Stan, but he can pick up a frag and drop out of there. And, we're now seeing the pace drop down into more what's going to favour FM than it is Reason. And maybe they'll be able to learn from that and shake them back up again pretty quickly. And you see now, FM are realising that they've got not a lot of time to work with. They're drifting around and then just sort of isolating the map, hemming Reason in there, and it's probably going to be a flawless victory for them at this rate.
Yeah, FM doing a wonderful job that round. As you said, keeping 5 players alive, taking themselves a second. The only question in my mind is, does that make Reason realise? Does that give them the key to their success? Does that show them, if you move fast, FM don't have a response. If you take it slow, if you take it at the regular pace and wait it out in mid, then there's a good chance they're going to be countering you. And does that mean from now on we're just going to be seeing frantic takes of sites that FM really can't get a handle on? Or does it mean Reason are going to continue trying to take this slow and more methodical pace because it's where they feel comfortable at the moment? And they're just going to have to adapt it in between it at the moment. It looks like it's quite probable we're going to be seeing the slower, more methodical paces. Again, we see a default coming out right at the beginning, and then mid-control being slowly established. This round, potentially going to be trying to see if they can do it a little bit better. It is those early picks that facilitate their late-round pushes, and so a lot of it's going to come down to that. Who do we see dive first? How aggressive are FM willing to get? And if not, how aggressive are they willing to get? How likely are Reason to find those first picks in the round? all of this going to be extremely important, and all of this really, I think at this point, going to be deciding who wins the map. And it looks like we might see something decided here on short in a second. The run boost looking like it might be coming in.
Yeah, and I think on that, if you do get those early picks, you sometimes trick yourself into thinking we've been out picking them, so we'll just be able to continue doing that again. But if you completely change up your play style in doing that, then it's not surprising that it's not gone your way. But now, as they do hit en masse onto this safe site, they do get a plant, and 3v2, you would maybe favour them to bring this thing home. Let's see, who's that down long? That's Huds G, I think. Oh no, sorry, it's Stan doing some decent damage to Crucial up towards the barrel, but the AWPer does eventually pick things up, so 3v1 it is, leaving Huds G last man standing, and he tries to come for it, but with 3 players around him, no such luck. And that is the reset coming in after, let's see, 6 straight rounds. It was after the pistol. FM get one, and they are reset. And on CT side, that is sometimes quite costly, but they do have M4s all round. So I don't know quite how they managed that, but nice work, guys.
I think it's because they managed to survive flawlessly in the last that gave them a little bit of a bank, but again, the bank isn't a good bank. It lasts 1 round, and if they lose this, they're going to be in trouble. And again, first pick has gone the way of reason. Now, whether they're going to be playing slow or fast, at this point, I don't think matters a huge amount. If they can find the first pick, they're good at trading. They might just be able to take it unless we can see FM come back into it. Som manages that, and Neilzinho in the perfect position to find the next. But it doesn't quite happen. Instead, it's down to Huds G, and the double AWP coming into great effect here. Might have just found them the round. As it is going to mean Reason have to be a little bit more conservative with how they play. They're now going to just be shuffling players around in mid. A little bit scared to go anywhere, and I think trying to orchestrate a mid to B. When it's 3 players attacking 2 and Connor has to go out mid solo, I wouldn't be too confident whatsoever. And that is not going to help. Connor deciding to go into tunnels anyway because he doesn't want to chance it in mid. But Baif dies almost instantly, so it's just every option they think they see is closed off to them at the moment, and they have to fight their way to whichever site they think they can make. Both of which are going to be almost impossible as far as I can see. You're going to have Neilzinho sat there with the AWP watching short if they try and push up there. Maybe one's going to be making it past him, but the retake is inevitable at this point. FM looking like they're definitely going to be picking up their 3rd rounder.
Yeah, almost definitely Connor drops off, and I think that flash might have allowed him to get there, but there's plenty of cover there, you would think, and Som, yeah, he gets one in the trade. Weather does pick up Som down long. A decent assist from Keats, who did good damage, and the plant's going to come in, so that will help the Reason gaming coffers just a little bit, and these 2 FM players need to get on that bike because they're over in the other direction, so both going to be coming in. Weather just sitting on top of the smoke, and he just picked 2 of their heads clean off. And again, on my screen anyway, I couldn't see that, but it's not the first time Weber's done that. He just seems to have this extra bit of vision or something in his setup or whatever it is, but he's just able to pick him off. It might be, I mean, to be honest, he might have his headset cranked right up because you probably could hear those footsteps. They're going pretty quick.
Oh yeah, he's got an expensive headset, does Weber. Classic. Anyway. Regardless of his antics, we are just going to be seeing, well, FM getting trashed once again. It sort of sucks for them, but it's a 2-8 scoreline at the moment. It doesn't look like they're going to be coming back into it in this round, at least. Crucial manages to find one with a Tech 9. A couple come out from Connor with a Mac 10, and there's only one in response so far. Someone Huds at the same time, just being completely bashed. Every single shot headed their way, and the majority of them connecting mean that Reason do push themselves to a 9th round. Now they lead by 7 points already. They're about to hit those double digits, and it looks like this could be a quick map for them.
Well, yeah, this rate, it just seems to suit them a little more. I think FM are much more the methodical, sit in your sights, don't commit anything on CT side, and then on T side, play it passive, wait for the pushes, get the picks, work from there, maybe throw in the odd rotate just to mix things up.
I mean, it makes sense when you think about it, doesn't it? Because Crucial, I don't think, plays with them often at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was, what, Lowland Lions, then Splice? So, the amount of practice he's going to have with them won't be too good, so Puggy map's going to be great for them. As well as that, he is a ridiculously good player, as is Weather. As are a few of the players on that side, so it has just been sort of an insane night for them aim-wise, and as you said, Dust 2 suits that a little bit more. This round, though, FM are trying to make a resurgence. They are going to be finding themselves the advantage in terms of health, but not in terms of weapons. It's going to be 2 AWPs watching them. Maybe, though, that is going to be the disadvantage for Reason at the moment, as they have to figure out how they're going to be using these. That's often one of the most difficult things when you're playing an AWP-heavy setup, is how are you going to be using them, where are you going to be pointing them, and sometimes, are the pistols more favorable? In this case, it looks like Weber's answer to are the pistols more favorable is definitely yes, as he sneaks out with the Tech-9, grabs that bomb, and starts to head back towards A. And now, if Baif's just sold that, this could be the plant for free. But as I say that, we do see somebody coming back around. There's going to be Nilzinho watching across. The smoke's not perfect either, so they're relying on this flash to blind him up completely, and it does. They manage to get the cross. The bomb goes down, and this should be exactly what they're looking for. The issue is Keita gets too aggressive, doesn't see it, and Nilzinho comes in with the jump shot to finish things off.
And what a shot that is. What a way to go. Really strong stuff again coming in from FM, and from the jaws of defeat, they end up pulling out another round, and great stuff. It's just great stuff all around from these 2 teams, and 2 organisations, FM eSports and Reason Gaming, that have been around for long old time, and Som and Fry both taken down to about 20 points of health. Crazy.
That's the only word, Mike. That's the only word. Crucial. What is he on?
I didn't even clock the crucial nail both of those.
Yeah, one after the other, man.
Yeah, this is next level. I mean, from a purely tactical side of things, you're probably not going to learn a whole lot from watching this as such. It is very much Reason Gaming have put their toe to the carpet and they're just going for this thing. But in terms of pure fragging and pure gameplay, this is really top drawer. It's so exciting to watch, and for these 2 organisations that have been around for so many years, and the 2 figureheads, Darren Yakball of FM eSports and Adam Blanks Heath of Reason Gaming, 2 figureheads have been around for a stack load of years, both really nice guys, and I'm so glad that they've both got such competitive teams and giving us a great display here. And I mean, I'm all going to be very proud of what's on display, is that he gets to see Weber and Crucial.
Oh, what is that shot?
Oh.
No, 2 tags through the doors, and then a wonderful wallbang to find the actual frag in the round, and Weber's going to have the chance to plant the bomb off the back of it. It's going to be a 3v2 retake, but from what we've seen of these guys so far in the round, it is not impossible whatsoever for Reason to put a 10th on the board right here. Magic is going to have to happen for FM. They don't have the utility to push the site, so it's going to come down to pure fragging potential, and honestly, that seems to be the one thing that they have been lacking a bit of. Unfortunately for them at the moment, positioning is going to be everything, but Crucial manages to find the first quickly, and the second, not exposed to tunnels, but it is just going to be Stan, seeing what he can do with the Emperor, and he finds both of them!
Got a kit. We'll just sitting with bated breath, see if he's got enough time, and he does, to pick the thing up, but wow.
From a 3 versus 2 to a 2 versus 1 to Stan winning it, what has gone on?
Well, that was, again, beyond ridiculous, some of this stuff that we're watching. And fair play to FM. This pace doesn't suit them whatsoever. I think Dust 2 is putting them at a severe disadvantage against this Reason squad, but they're hanging in it. If they can get themselves somehow to 9-6, 9-6 against, then they're probably in a half-decent position to be able to bring this thing home. But Connor just goes charging out Tech-9. He's partially blind against a completely blind CT setup, and they're just storming through. And again, it's upsetting the rhythm. It's not necessarily an out-fragging, it's just that FM haven't come prepared for this.
Well, I mean, maybe the tides are going to be changing. This round looks, well, more possible than many others have, obviously down to the fact that Weber and Keita are both sitting on just those Tech-9s. If they can find this, then they can at least put up a slightly respectable scoreline, and they're definitely going to be given the chance. Unfortunately for them, Weber is a little bit too good with that Tech-9. 3 frags with a pistol, and he picks up the AWP to boot. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe they're not prepared. Reason are just on another level today in terms of frags and nothing else.
Yeah, and it's a sign that it works, isn't it? I mean, this is a completely different kettle of fish to what we're used to, but it's been the story for as long as I've been commentating at UK lands, is that a mixed team comes together with a bunch of pure fraggers and does supremely well and ends up taking the whole thing down. And against teams that spend the time and work on their strats and the like. And I know this is a different situation because the Reason lineup is fairly well set as such in comparison, and a lot of these guys are familiar with each other, so it's not quite in the same vein. But some of the play style that we're seeing in Dust 2 kind of smacks of that a little bit, and it does throw off the rhythm. It really throws off the rhythm, and I think it's a change in the general play style. Is that it used to be that you wouldn't push through a smoke, for example, or a Molotov, and it's kind of like the forbidden fruit. You just don't go there because it's not going to end well for you. But now, you'll see teams and players, if a smoke gets dropped at their feet, they're instantly rushing through, and the thrower of the smoke isn't expecting that. And it's just some fresh new things that come to it. And yeah, it's aggressive. It's a little bit scary at times to play that way, but it catches people off guard.
That it does. Baif, I think, hoping to do a little bit more of catching people off guard right now, as he does have to go up against Fry if he wants to take this bomb through to the B site. And unfortunately for him at the moment, Fry knows exactly where he is. Obviously, a player on 100 health against a player on 14 health. You can sort of guess what's going to be happening, but Baif still manages to make his way onto the site. So that is the bomb plant going down, and Fry now realizes exactly what's going on. Going to be heading back round, but Baif's there with a headshot. Starts things off nicely and leaves himself in a 1 versus 1 versus Nilzinho to decide this. And it's the ace to clutch, but he's definitely capable of it. Peeks out at the wrong time, though, and loses his life. Unfortunate indeed, but it does mean that we are going to be seeing this half go 10-5 to Reason Gaming, which I'm going to say is an unusual scoreline on Dust. It's definitely not sort of the norm. It's not what you're expecting the entire time, but at the same time, it's not irrecoverable.
No, it's not, and it kind of plays for FM to now set the tempo in the way that they would like it. If Reason want to be going out and getting pushy, then they're more than welcome to do that on their CT side. But you can expect that FM, just as a standard, will probably set up in a similar kind of way. And if they win the pistol, push through and get the next 2, then it's only again a 10-8 game, and we've seen them pull that situation back in the past as well. So, I think, as you say, it's definitely one that they can recover. And they were pretty much playing retake CS, because in that situation, yeah, okay, maybe they'd end up losing a site, but tough situation for them to hold it down in that situation, but they can then bring themselves back in with some good team play, good use utility and that sort of thing, and that's where they've got their rounds from. But this is again a little bit, just feels a bit rushed the way they've gone here. They've got Crucial and Weber both down to pretty low points of health, but they have lost a player, and Som is in exactly the same boat. He's only got to be blown on really before he goes down, and they now go back and decide to set the pace that they want to go for, and they're going to slow things up just a little bit, going to try and push out along. They've got a player in the pit that they've got to try and track down. There's enough of them though, and they do work together to pick that one up. They've got the call on Car as well. It's not one of the low HP players, I don't think, and both goes down. So it's now Weber and Crucial. Nice work with that USP, and he's on point with that. I never pick up that silence USP because I'd probably just miss all 36 of those bullets, and much better just clicking mouse one a bunch of times. Connor, again, same thing with the USP. I don't know how he's found the head of Stan from there, but he has, and Crucial is able to work up through the ramp. So Crucial, Weber and Connor had probably less than 50 points of health between all 3 of them, but they couldn't be found, and Reason instead going to be looking to extend their lead 11-5.
And that is the opposite of what FM wanted. You can see they've all bought Tech 9 armors this round. There's no saving for the ult. Sorry, Nilzinho went for the P250 still. There's no saving for the ult. There's no being coy at this point. They need to take it here. They know they need to get back into this now, and that is exactly what they're trying to do. The issue is, at the start, Som gets tagged, and they really have nowhere to go. They try and head out into long. They're going to be faced with 2 players, and even if they manage to trade out, the weapon advantage is probably still going to be playing into Reason's hands. They'll probably find more frags there, and even if not, they can continue to move forward. So at the moment, it's going to be FM who have established a little bit of mid-control, pushing 2 players up short. It's going to be up to Crucial to deal with both of them, but he can only find one. Baif drops as well, and just like that, it's a 2 versus 2. This is their chance. Fry going to be holding the site as his teammate runs up long with the bomb, throws it across, but he has to peek to take it. Weber can't hit the shot immediately, and that means that we will see a bomb plant. And we are going to have to see a retake attempt at the very least out of Reason to try and come back into this one. Not going to be easy, but could be interesting. Connor with a P90 coming up close. Fry can hear him. He's going to be giving cues to his teammate. And Connor, I think, just trying to bait Fry out for Weber. seeing what they can get done together, and unfortunately at the moment it looks like what they're going to be getting done is potentially the round one for Reason, unless Fry can hit their headshot immediately, which just doesn't happen in the end. So it is going to be another one for Reason, but an extremely costly one, Mark.
Yeah, it is. A lot of weapons got dropped. Another $800 in the coffers for FM eSports, which is going to be of a benefit for them, and maybe they can go for a force if they want to, but actually situation doesn't favour that as such, I don't think. So just going to leave themselves plenty of cash for when they want to go for their first buy versus buy, maybe want to pick up an AWP, that kind of thing. So gives them the opportunity. Keita with a swag 7, so maybe we'll see an aggro push from him, but more likely he's going to get super aggressive with the position that he sits in. Goes in for the boost, so maybe Carr. He's not going to be able to get down long for fear of maybe they've pushed out and taken control of that area just outside long doors. They haven't, but we've got the beauty of X-Ray and the like, so no such luck for Keita. And crucially, he's made the opening frag, taking down Huds G. So again, it's Reason who are making the opening picks even on the CT side. Now the action's kicking off, and it's plenty of trades going in, but it trades in favour of Reason Gaming 3-2. Make that 3-1 as Bait is able to grab Neilzinho, and Connor cleans up. So 13-5, and Reason Gaming bringing themselves ever closer to victory here. Hi guys, this is Crossy, and thank you for joining us again for the Multiplay UK Masters competition. So when we left it, we were into the third map. Just to give you an update, the game has been defaulted due to a roster discrepancy on the side of Reason, so this game does go in favour of FM eSports. More information will come in due course, I am sure.